everyone.
Hi, Amy.
Before I get started, can everyone hear me okay?
Right.
Yeah, all right. Before I get started, I'm curious to know how many people in this room are members of a national organization other than the SSA? Raise your hand. Okay. That's good. That's wonderful. Great. Well, then I think I'm done. Okay, I'll see. No, okay. So if you are one of the people who did not raise your hand, I'm here to talk about the American Humanist Association. We're one of the oldest free thought organizations in the United States. We were formed in 1941. And we're one of the largest with over 15,000 members and supporters. No, sorry, don't point it at the screen. Okay, perfect. Okay, so a little more background information on me. Like I mentioned, or like Shelley mentioned, I'm the Director of Development at the AHA, which is the person in charge of all fundraising programs. I'm also the editor of Free Mind, which is our quarterly newsletter. And I'm also the coordinator for the annual conference, so if Liz is stressed out, I feel your pain. In the early days, I was vice president of our campus free thought group at James Madison University. We were called the JMU Freethinkers. And upon graduation, I became an intern for the Humanist magazine, and I was also a member of the board of directors of the SSA for 2 years. So it was actually the SSA in 2004. That's a picture of me looking too excited for some reason. We won the Best Website Award. That was when like only 2 other groups applied, and of course by default we ended up winning. That introduced me to the AHA, and so I was able to meet with Fred Edwards, who was there at the time, and Mel Littman, who was the president of AHA at the time. And they told me about AHA internships, and immediately after college, I joined their group, and I've been there ever since. So what is humanism? You'd be surprised a lot of even atheists don't know the definition of what humanism is. The textbook definition says, humanism is a progressive philosophy of life that, without supernatural beliefs, affirms our ability and responsibility to lead ethical lives of personal fulfillment that aspire to the greater good of humanity. Ignore that, it's too long. Basically just go with good without God. That's how we're starting to promote it. I see humanism as very similar to atheism, agnosticism, free thought, non-theism, whatever term you'd like to use to describe yourself. But humanism's focal point is about leading an ethical life without religious dogma or superstition. I also see humanism as a developing philosophy. So we take a lot of positions on things like gay rights, end-of-life choices, reproductive rights, and things like that, using Humanist Manifesto 3 and science and reason and compassion as our basis for developing those issues. Oh, I meant to go back. Sorry, some of the humanists of the year, our most recent ones include people like Richard Dawkins, the author Joyce Carol Oates, Salman Rushdie, Alice Walker, Representative Pete Stark in California, the late Kurt Vonnegut, who was our honorary president for many years until his death, and of course our recent 2009 Humanist of the Year, Dr. P.Z. Myers, who was at our conference in June. He was great. He stood up there and took a Bible and tore a page out of it. We like that sort of thing, really. So what does the AHA do? Surprisingly, we don't just sit around and make fun of the religious right. We actually get a lot of things done. We strive to bring about a progressive society where being good without God is an accepted way to live life. And how do we accomplish this? Through our defense of civil liberties and secular governance, by our outreach to the growing number of people who don't have a religious belief or preference, and through a continued refinement and advancement of the humanist worldview. Like I mentioned before, we have about 15,000 supporters and members, over 120 humanist chapters and affiliates, and offices in Washington, D.C. and New York. Most recently, the AHA filed an amicus brief in a Supreme Court case in support of the removal of a Christian cross on public land. This was in California. And we petitioned the Texas School Board to halt any changes to the social studies curriculum that would portray the United States as a Christian nation. And that petition is currently at over 1,000 signers, so that's really terrific. And of course, we, like Fred mentioned in his talk, we support a number of billboard campaigns. The current one that we have is in Moscow, Idaho, and it's the one on the right, not the one on the left, clearly. The one on the right says, "Want a better world? Prayer not required." I mean, there's lots of reasons to do billboards like these, in addition to growing our membership, but we really don't want to see any of those awful ones to your left. But I really like to tout 2 of the biggest accomplishments that we achieved this past year. Number 1, we pissed off Bill O'Reilly. Yeah. So like Fred mentioned, that's Fred. He was on Bill O'Reilly. He wasn't lying. And this was, of course, in response to the Billboard campaign that he talked about a little earlier, the one that says, "Why believe in a God? Just be good for goodness' sake." We put this on over 200 buses and metro trains in Washington, D.C., and clearly he was pretty upset about it. He called the sign dopey. I was actually hoping for much worse. He didn't do that. And of course, the second thing that we did was we pissed off Fox News. This is Roy Speckhart, who's our executive director of the AHA. He appeared on Fox News' Fox and Friends, and also on CNN Headline News against Bill Donahue of the Catholic League, whom some of you guys might already know. He basically equated humanism with cannibalism, which doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Catholics eat the body and blood of Christ, and we're cannibals? Okay. So those are the two big things that happened this past year, and of course this Christmas we're definitely doing it again. We're excited about that. Okay, not at the screen. Okay, here we go. So while church-state separation is our biggest focus, several adjuncts fly under the banner of the AHA. The Apignani Bioethics Center is our office in New York, works with the UN and other government officials to bring a more scientific and humanist perspective to bioethical issues like stem cell research, reproductive rights, and the alleviation of world hunger. The Kochar Humanist Education Center is developing humanist curriculum for local chapters who are interested in establishing children's educational programs with critical thinking at its core. So these are for parents who have children who want to take them to Sunday school but definitely don't want a religious background on that. The Feminist Caucus is a group of both women and men working toward the advancement of women's rights and equality, keeping AHA involved in women's rights issues. The Humanist Charities specializes in aid and action, particularly in response to major natural disasters abroad and at home. And it's an opportunity for secularists to support direct charitable work and making sure that their money doesn't go toward religious organizations. The Humanist Society certifies humanist celebrants who can conduct non-religious weddings, memorials, baby naming ceremonies, and the like. The Apignani Humanist Legal Center is our official legal arm, providing assistance to defend the constitutional rights of secularists by directly challenging clear violations of the law where it relates to the Establishment Clause. And Darwin Day is our newest project, which promotes public education about science and the defense of evolution in public school science classes, in addition to hosting the largest database of Darwin Day events online. And of course, we're also the publisher of the Humanist magazine. This is just a few of the covers that we've had under the direction of Jennifer Barty, who's our editor. And the Humanist has had a number of great writers write for it, including Ralph Nader, Philip Pullman, who wrote The Golden Compass, Wendy Kaminer, and E.O. Wilson over at Harvard. So AHA is a membership organization, and as a member you get a number of benefits. The most important one, of course, being lending your support to humanist organizations, atheist organizations, to defend secular government and make the world a better place. In addition, you get a one-year subscription to the Humanist magazine, our quarterly newsletter, Free Mind, a free copy of the book Humanism as the Next Step, which is written by Lloyd and Mary Moraine, who were previous Humanists of the Year, invitations and discounts to our annual conference and other events, and regular emailed updates on our latest activities. And if you're a student, this is free. Say that again, it's free, guys. Definitely sign up if you haven't. Yay, free. All right, great. We don't throw on free pizza, though. Maybe we should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or a steak.
Translate through the mail very well.
Yeah, not so much. Not so much.
Just not trying hard enough.
So now I mentioned a lot of activities that the AHA is involved in, but of course we're very supportive of the student movement. We understand that this is absolutely vital to our growth. So we maintain a very, very close relationship with the Secular Student Alliance. We help sponsor the SSA's campus organizer in Northern California. And as I mentioned before, we offer free membership for a year for students and for students who graduate out of college. As I mentioned, let me go back a little. Students also receive free registration at our annual conference each year. And if your group affiliates with the AHA, you get a lot of really wonderful resources like free magazines, free books, newsletters, and things like that. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. And of course, we have fall, spring, and summer internships at our office in Washington, D.C. For those of you interested in nonprofit work. So what are some of the benefits of affiliating with the AHA? Well, in addition, like all the resources I talked about, your group will basically be promoted in every which way that we can. So we promote the group's contact information on our website, through our Free Mind newsletter and at our annual conference. Another free service that we do for our chapters is send bi-monthly action packets. Now this is just free materials where we keep in touch with you, we let you know what's going on with the national movement, but also give you a means to which you can take action in your community. So for example, this petition that we're doing for the Texas School Board will notify you about that and help you also collect signatures to support our petition. And of course, if your group wants a speaker, we have a lot of great people on our board of directors and people at the AHA staff who are all available to you to come out to your meeting and talk more about AHA or other things. Again, this is free. Take advantage of it. So I know some of you are thinking about internships. I know, is that disgusting or what? Apparently PETA does this. We will not make you do this, I swear, I promise. So we won't do that. But we do have an internship program. I hope a lot of you guys might be graduating soon. If anyone knows, that's meat packing. Can anyone see that? Okay. Yeah. So we do have an internship program, and I hope people who are graduating college or even in college right now, if you're planning to be in the DC area, be sure to let us know. We would love to have you work for the. I'm gonna switch this because throw some people out. So we have a variety of different types of internships. Now which one is right for you? Well, if you're a communications or journalism major, you love to talk to the media, you're the kind of person who likes to get the word out about your group, and you actually want to use social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and actually get paid for it, and we encourage you to do that, well then something like communications and advocacy could be for you. Interns assist in implementing media strategy, track legislative developments and draft action alerts, attend coalition meetings, which is really great. These are meetings with groups like the ACLU, People for the American Way, and Americans United for church-state separation that get a lot of wonderful things done. And then assist in drafting press releases, in addition to representing humanism and atheism to the media. If you're an English major, you're the kind of person who judges people when they use poor grammar, and you really like red pens, then perhaps interning for the Humanist magazine is your fit. The intern will assist in editing, proofreading, and fact-checking articles for submission. Of course, you have a lot of great opportunities to get published in the Humanist, and also help write for Free Mind, which is our newsletter. So if you're interested in the inner workings of a magazine and that sort of thing, then hopefully you'll apply for that. If you're pre-law, you love to argue and you never laugh at lawyer jokes, and your favorite movies are things like To Kill a Mockingbird, Inherit the Wind, that sort of thing. Then we have, I don't know where I get these pictures from. Then the Oppenheimer Humanist Legal Center might be for you. You'll provide support. We have one full-time staff attorney at our offices in DC, and also about 30 pro bono lawyers throughout the country that also assist. So you'll be providing support for them, researching potential cases, and tracking key issues of violations of church-state separation. And finally, if you're the kind of person that joined nearly every club in college, you have a background in group organizing, I know a lot of students here already have that, then definitely apply for our field internship. You'll help promote the AHA at conferences, rallies, and other events, and help support our over 120 chapters across the country. So. Other internships we have, development and fundraising, which I always like to promote. That's really crucial for anybody who's interested in nonprofit leadership. If you want to be an executive director for any group, you do have to have some background in fundraising, so I'm not saying that to be biased. We also have internships in graphic and web design, our bioethics center in New York, and education. If you have a teaching background and you'd like to teach little kids about critical thinking and humanism and atheism, we have a lot of volunteers in support of that, so be sure to join if you can. So how do you apply for an internship? Well, basically all you really need to do is know what humanism is. You'd be surprised how many people come and interview with us in DC and then don't show up the next day because they find out that we're godless heathens. I'm serious. So as long as you know that, you're good to go. You're pretty much in. And of course, your affiliation with the SSA is a really big plus. We definitely like a lot of people. I was from the SSA before I started at AHA, so it's a really big plus. Interns can work part-time or full-time, and we accept interns all year round. And I think I know there's some people in this room who's actually interned for the AHA, so you can talk to me or be sure to talk to anybody else who's worked at the AHA. Oh, well, only those people who have good things to say. If you don't have good things to say, don't try. Let's see, and this is the information. Basically, send your cover letter and a resume and what you're interested in to intern@AmericanHumanist.org. So to sum up, what are some things that you can do right now? Number 1, join the AHA. It's free for you if you're a student. Number 2, affiliate your group with the AHA. Also free. Do that too. Be sure to mark your calendar for our annual conference in San Jose. That's June 3rd through the 6th, 2010 in San Jose, California. Also free for students. And then, of course, if you're going to be in the DC area this fall, be sure to apply for an internship, and you can contact me about that. Like I say, it's better than free. You actually get paid. And so that's the AHA. I guess everybody knows what home starter is. That's level. So that's it. So if anyone has any questions or comments, be sure to contact me, and I'd be happy to let you know more about the AHA and our internship program. And the first person who comes up to me after this and says they want to join the AHA, I'll make it 2 years, not just 1. So thank you very much.